You're playing too hard, you're playing with too much tension, and you're playing too fast. And if you're in a rush on your blues harmonica journey, just click on the link in the description below for my free Blues Harmonica Foundations course. Okay, so when I sit down with a beginner and even more advanced students, I discover that they are doing at least one of these three things, and more often than not, they're doing all three. So first of all, they are always playing too hard. And what does playing too hard do? Well, playing too hard will lead to you running out of breath. So if you've started running out of breath, it's because you're playing too hard. It'll give you bad tone, and it's not going to give you very much dynamic range in your playing. So everything's just going to sound like this. It's not very sweet, it's not very bluesy, it's a little rough, and you're not getting a lot of control. So the way to work on that, to play less hard, is to imagine you've got one of those old school hi-fis. Cast your minds back to the old school hi-fis with the faders. And you're going to try playing as hard as you can with the fader all the way up at the top. And then you're going to bring it slowly down to a whisper volume. And I want you to play about here. So play at about 30% of what you were playing at before. Okay, so the next big mistake is playing with too much tension. So I'm sure you've seen a ton of awesome blues harmonica players who look a little bit like this when they're playing. They've got their shoulders hunched up, they're pouring their souls into the instrument, and that is all showmanship. What we really want is to play with as little tension as possible. And if you play with all of that tension, you're going to end up with a thin tone that sounds like this, rather than... You're going to have a lack of control of the instrument, and you're really going to struggle with all of the juicy techniques that you want to learn, like bending. And the vibrato. Everything is much better and easier to control if you're playing nice and relaxed and with less tension. So, what I suggest you do to fix this is going to be radical, is play in front of a mirror. You'll be absolutely shocked to see what you're doing when you are confronted with yourself in the mirror. A lot of people will find that their shoulders are up here, that they're hunched over, and they're kind of pulling themselves into the harmonica. So really try and let the shoulders relax. Make sure that you're sitting up nice and straight. Ideally, you're standing when you're practicing. That's the best way to practice. But I understand a lot of you will probably be sitting down, and that's okay as well. So you're going to sit up nice and straight. Your head is balanced on top of your neck. Your shoulders are nice and loose, and your arms are hanging down. And just watch yourself while you're practicing and see if those shoulders start creeping back in, if you start hunching over, and just pause and try and reframe everything and get everything in a good alignment so that you're not playing with as much tension. Now, final mistake. Mistake number 3. People try and play too fast. So whatever it is that you're practicing, whether it's practicing playing a train rhythm, or practicing some cool bluesy licks, there's a tendency to try and play it as fast as you've just heard it. And if you're playing fast, then what you're going to do is you're going to internalize lots of mistakes, and you're going to learn the mistakes, and you're not going to learn how to play accurately and with control. So with that in mind, what I want you to do next time you learn something new, it could be a train rhythm, it could be a lick, whatever it is, play it at half the speed that you think you should be playing it at. So you might be doing it at ridiculously slow speeds, something like That's totally fine. Do it really, really slowly, but make sure that you're playing it absolutely perfectly. There's this really great quote, I can't remember who it's from, but the quote goes, "The best way not to make mistakes is by not making mistakes." And so what that means is if you practice it so slowly that you're in control of it and you're not making any mistakes, then you're going to ingrain your muscle memory with the perfect way of doing it. So play much slower, and then once you can do it slowly, you can speed it up. Okay, so now if you want to really jumpstart your blues harmonica playing and you're in a rush to get better and you're a beginner, then why don't you just check out my free 14-day trial to Toplin Harmonica School? Just click on the link in the description below. And if you want to put all of your new learnings to good use, why don't you click up here for my 7 easy blues harmonica licks that you can work on. Just click up here. I know you're going to love it. Make sure that you are not playing too hard, you're not playing with too much tension, and you're not playing too fast. All right. Thank you so much. If you want more beginner blues harmonica content, just hit the subscribe button. All right. Happy harping.